Hello everyone, I'm Mar Benitez, Library Assistant here at the Seguin Public Library, and today we're here with Salim Ali from SOFA, which is the Society for Financial Awareness, and he's going to be teaching us about getting your financial house in order. So hello Salim.
Hi, good morning. Thanks, Mara. I appreciate this intro. And I would like to welcome everyone today to today's workshop. Thank you for joining us. I hope today, as Mara said, is to provide you with some valuable information, have some fun, and enjoy the next hour. My name is Salim, and I'm a member of the Society for Financial Awareness, which is commonly referred as SOFA. It is a nonprofit organization with the mission of ending financial illiteracy across America, one community at a time. Starting today, we will be launching a financial literacy series week on behalf of the Seguin Public Library. Topic today is getting your financial house in order. Always remember, when making a financial decision, keep in mind your commitment to eliminate debts, accumulate wealth, and put your money to work for you. I'm going to talk to you about mortgages today. Uh, if you're buying a home, it is extremely important that you pay close attention to the type of mortgage that is available to you. As you see on the chart, there are four different kinds. One is, you can, as everybody knows, is a fixed rate mortgage. There's an adjustable rate mortgage, full amortized adjustable rate mortgage, and I'm going to explain to you all that in detail. Fixed rate mortgages have a constant interest rate and monthly payment amount, which is fixed over the term of the loan. You always know what your monthly payment will be. Payments are calculated to pay off the balance by the end of the term, which is 15 years or 30 years. And it's most common, this is the most common type of mortgage. Payment remain the same. Like I said, it's a fixed payment every month. There's no risk of interest rate changing. It's just a fixed interest rate, monthly payment, and it provides a sizable deduction when you on your tax return when you file it every year. Now here's an example. Let's say the principal amount is 200,000 and the rate is 6%. Your monthly payment would be $1,199. And if you take 30 years and multiply by 12 months, which is 360 months, your total repayment would come out to $431.640. So a little over 431. The loan amount is 200,000. The interest is the balance, which is 231,640. That's an example of what the fixed rate would be. Now, let's say you make a one extra payment, that could save a good amount of money for you. The main advantage of making that one extra mortgage payment a year is that you would pay off your loan balance sooner. You could pay down a mortgage even faster by changing the frequency of the extra payment. Rather than making from 1 year, let's say you make twice a year, by paying just one extra payment. In other words, instead of 12, you make 13 payments. Your mortgage payment each year, a loan amortization schedule with an extra payment would show that you would probably chop off 3 years of your mortgage. So instead of paying 30 years, you will be able to pay somewhere around 27 years plus. That's a big savings, and that will also save you a chunk of money on your payment. Now, let's say, remember we talked about those three kind of payments. The second one is adjustable rate mortgage. Basically, what it is you have the same interest rate all the time. Adjustable rate mortgage offer an initial period with a fixed interest rate. That often lowers the conventional mortgage rate. So what it means is, for the first 5 years, let's say you'll have a lower rate, but then the rates goes to what the prime is plus some, and it's calculated in a different way. The risks are pretty heavy. You may or may not be, depends. If you want to live in this house, then maybe it's not a good choice. But let's say you only want to live for 5 years and want to sell it and get another one, this would be a best option for you, because then you won't have hit the prime and the variable rates, and initially you can get cheaper rate. Here's the advantages of getting adjustable rate. The monthly payment would be lower because you'll get a lower rate. It will be more affordable. It can save you money if you plan to sell the home, like I was talking to you about. You may be able to qualify for a higher loan amount because your payments are lower, so you may be able to buy a larger house. And if interest rate remains low, the cost to your mortgage is less than traditional fixed rate mortgage. But on the other hand, there's some disadvantages too. So you should be very aware and look at the pros and cons of getting both, of getting both. These are some of the things that you should consider before you even think about the additional rates. And these are the disadvantages I was talking to you about. If the rate goes up, your initial fixed rate period, your monthly payment will increase. Your income may not, if the rate, let's say the rate goes up, your income may not increase proportionately, and you may end up having problems with the payment. Since you pay less interest, your federal income tax deduction is typically lower than what you would get with a fixed mortgage rate. Prepayment penalties are often assessed for paying off your loan early. A prepayment penalty may be assessed if you sell or refinance a home before paying off your mortgage. These are some of the disadvantages. The advantages and disadvantages again, let's continue with that. These are the most common type of adjustable rate mortgage. Monthly payments are calculated to pay off the balance at the end of the term, typically 30 years, or whatever the original 15, 30. When the initial fixed interest rate period expires, your interest rate in payment adjusts according to specific rules. A fully amortized arm loan typically has no interest rate cap. So in other words, when you're after 5 years or 7 years, whenever they are recalculating the rate prime plus, it could be a higher rate at that point because the interest could have been higher or it can be lower. So you're taking that big risk out there. Okay, here's a good example. First month interest rate, second month. So as you see, the balances and well, this just a rate of 200,006, and this goes back to what we talked about a few slides back, that how much will you be paying off, on what your interest would be on it. Your equity will be in the house, your principal payment, and as you can see, as you make your payment, the principal payment, of course, you're paying a larger principal payment than larger payment, and you're paying more. The interest rate would be coming down, principal would be going up a little bit. Your balance, of course, will come down, the equity will increase, and your payment would stay the same or go up or down. Now, this is something that we went through before. This 200,000 loan amount, the reduction would be 5,000 at the rate of 6%. Your monthly payment would be 1199. The same payment. Actual savings would be 27,000. Amortized loan with principal reduction. So in other words, if you pay off, let's say, make a one-time reduction or payment of 5,000, you are actually paying 23 months of 1199, and you'll be saving about 27,579.30 by making one extra payment there. Now we come to another thing, which is called, I don't know how many people are aware of this or not, but I personally do this. It's called biweekly mortgage payments. It's a great way, and I've shared some interest on the house too. Some interest plus the length of the loan, length of the rate, and I've built up some equity. They are an average of 4.3 weeks in 1 month because we get 12 months, and if you divide that 52, you're left with 4 extra weeks, and that's why you every 3 months, every 3 quarters, I think we get one extra week. But anyway, since they're an average of 4.3 weeks in 1 month, paying half your monthly mortgage payment every 2 weeks gets you ahead of your loan. Similar results as the extra payment per year. Lock on your track to save money on the overall cost of your mortgage. I prefer personally this one rather than paying an extra payment because as you go along, you pay a little bit more, but it's credited to you on a biweekly basis, and you get more deductions on your interest rate than what you would pay on the one monthly payment. And now, there's another way, equity. Now let's talk about investment a little bit, what we can do. Managing the equity you build in your house. As long as your yield or rate of return is higher than the net rate of loan, you can be debt free on paper utilizing the following. In other words, you can use that extra money or use the savings on mutual fund, stocks, other cash investment, mortgage balance, investment balance. Your goal is for us to do it would be mortgage balance, investment balance. In other words, bring it down as fast as possible. At 6%, for instance, your money can double in 12 years. At 12%, if you get a return of 12%, your money can double in 6 years. And which is normally what people call is rule of 72. In other words, you take 72 and divide by the interest rate, and that's the number of years you will get your money double. Okay, there's several other ways. If you have a built-in equity and if you need the money, you can utilize line of credit, home equity loan, or even refinance and get a second mortgage. So you're not tied up as long as you have a decent credit. You would be able to get any of this at any time. Of course, there's always a risk of paying financing charges, which they call points, and there's always that risk. But if you don't need the money, you're just great. You can continue paying it and become free, payment free in about a few years earlier. Now, there's another ways of utilizing the equity you build in your home. A home equity is a line of credit is open-ended. That means the money goes in, money can come out, interest is charged on the every daily balance, and it's a loan that you don't have to pay off. You can reduce. Let's say you have a loan of 50,000, you got 40,000, and keep on paying on it. But let's say you pay the whole 40,000 off. You have 50,000 left again, and it's continued for a number of years. That line of credit. The second thing is home equity loan is not a line of credit. Use it to buy a second home. In other words, that's a loan that they give you like the first time. It's a refinancing basically. You can do it whatever, and you have to make a payment. You can't pay. You can pay it all early payment by making that extra payment, but that's about the same thing. Or you can take a second mortgage and a fixed rate works the same as the original mortgage. No problems. Let's use the example, a line of credit, that's what it stands for. Home HELOC stands for Home Equity Line of Credit right there. Let's say you have a $200,000 loan. You take a loan and pay a $5,000. New total on first mortgage is $195 now. Your balance is $5,000 on the other loan line of credit. So it's still the same. It doesn't make a difference. The only thing is if your rate is high out here and it's low out here, you're saving some interest out there, or it could be the other way around. There's some other advantages of a home equity loan, of line of credit. You can take that advantage on a bank the money. In other words, normally the interest charge on the line of credit is not hefty. It's much better than a credit card or other loan that you take out. Total debts remain unchanged because all you're doing is taking the money out, maybe putting it in another one or paying somebody else. No saving used. You're not using your personal savings. You advances your amortizing schedule if you want to pay off the real estate a little bit, and it cancels the interest. Through the mortgage interest rate deduction on your federal tax return, you should get a sizable amount of return of money back. Use it to your advantage. You can pay down some of the debts, make investment, use a tax refund to offset your mortgage payment next year. This same thing what we just talked about, how you can use a tax refund wisely. You can pay down your debts, pay down the higher interest credit cards or whatever. You can make an investment, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, any other investments, or you can offset your monthly mortgage payment. Let's say refund you get a $4,000 send it to the company, the mortgage, towards the mortgage, you're reducing your monthly payment by $333.33. That's helps you. Or let's say if your payment is $1,199, what we was talking about in the previous example, use the interest you paid and got back to reduce your monthly mortgage payment to 865. So that will reduce your monthly payment and you're still having the same thing. The whole purpose of this exercise is to use financial principles to eliminate the debts. You put the money to work for you and you accumulate wealth. I appreciate the time that you were here. Now would be a good time for me to answer any particular questions you have, or you can always contact me for complimentary analysis and or questions you have. Call me. You have my number out there. I'll appreciate it. You have a great Monday. Thank you.